initially I fell into the whole trap of we got to get followers, we got to get views, we got to get, and I lost sight of where I was going with it. I'm just going to stop aiming for targets. I was always chasing this, I was always chasing that, and I felt there was so much pressure on myself to try to deliver on those that I was kind of like, do you know what? I'm just going to stop. I'm going to play what I want to play because I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing, and I'm just going to have a good time. Ironically, as soon as I stopped trying to push for those targets and starting to have to enjoy myself and stuff like that, everything had just chilled out, and I was just like, oh, do you know what? I'm really, really enjoying things.
Can you introduce yourself?
In a nutshell, I'm Kev, or Kevlad. I'm a 37-year-old British variety streamer. I've loved gaming since I was a very little child. I love streaming because of the community. It's just the community feel. Stream as being very much like, we would call it here in the UK, a local pub. There's friends, there's strangers, there's people kind of hanging out. There's always, there's a general thing going on, but if you just want to be that quiet person that just sits there quietly taking it all in whilst having a drink, that's cool.
So how long have you been streaming for?
I first went live on the 22nd of August 2018. It's coming up 3 years I've been on Twitch on and off. It took me 2 weeks to get to affiliate. That was because I fell in with a really good group of people that I'm all friends with, a lot of them today. Obviously, life's got in the way for a lot of us, and a lot of us have gone different directions from it because of life. But that initial, I hit affiliate in 2 weeks, all of a sudden it was, I don't know, kind of like having your cake and eating it so quickly. Yeah. And I was like, oh, brilliant. I've got huge momentum. This is it. We're going. And then you get the stall. I started off on Final Fantasy, and when I was trying to find my feet as a streamer, there's always that little bit of pressure to kind of try to follow the herd, so to speak, or go with what's popular to try to keep the numbers without kind of staying true to what it is that you want to be doing, if that makes sense.
If you don't like to play a game, why would you play it?
And then we hit October. And everyone that I was watching on Twitch, it was a month of horror games. So I hit a month-long marathon of going through horror games. Played Outlast for the first time, which was an experience. The community had good fun watching me play that. I think I bounced around a few games. Then I decided I was going to try work my way through my Steam library. That, again, I suppose that's another thing I've learned and experienced is streaming has had a slightly negative impact on my gaming and gaming enjoyment, in as much as, and I joke about this on stream with my community, where I'll look at games and I'll think, oh, I really want to play that, but it'd be a really good game to stream, so I'm not going to play that.
A lot of people also start streaming because they want to go through a library of games on Steam, and then they're like, well, I still have a lot of games that I've never played.
I work 42 hours a week on a full-time job. That keeps the bills at bay and the roof over the head, etc., etc. After I slept, which when I first started streaming, that became the contesting time where I would stream till 1, 2, even 3 o'clock in the morning if I could. Eating into my sleep time, over time, had quite a negative effect on me, although I didn't feel it creeping up. When it did hit, it hit me really, really hard.
What was your goal for starting streaming?
First of all, it was numbers. It was all about numbers and stuff like that, and I wanted to hit affiliates so that I could try to monetize it, because again, it's that dream of, if I can monetize it, there's that prospect of perhaps there's a career in this. I'm not going to lie, that probably hit me the hardest. I think in the 3 years I've been on Twitch, I've probably had 4 payouts in total.
It's problematic how people that start streaming, they want to get affiliate because then they can get paid. But the truth is, if you have trouble getting to Twitch affiliate, you're probably not going to make a lot of money. Getting that Twitch affiliate shouldn't matter for you yet. Get better at making videos, doing the stream itself, getting better to talk to people, making friends are way better goals to set for yourself if you start streaming than to hit that affiliate, because then you're going to have that next thing of hitting the 100 paycheck. That's going to be really hard. Where if you try to get a goal, where you try to improve yourself, you have this in your own hands. You can work on that every day a little bit, and then see an improvement, where you don't have to see an improvement per se with money-wise, and then at least you can be proud of yourself.
The one thing that kind of frustrates me, my regulars will crop up in the Discord a couple of hours later, like, oh, I'm really sorry, I had something come up. I'm like, no, you don't have to apologize to me. Your life is your life. If you can't make the stream, you can't make the stream. If you want to catch the VOD, the VOD's probably there afterwards, but don't ever apologize for not being able to make it. But I can't help but sometimes, like when you do, I said before that buzz you get when you're running around frantically trying to get everything ready, yet everybody's already chatting in stream. Get me a little bit sometimes is the times when they've not been able to make it. I don't want people to feel bad about it if they watch or hear this afterwards and think, oh God, I feel really bad now. Definitely don't. But when you go live and you haven't got that happening, waiting for someone to come in with that response. Yeah. And, if you're focused on something and you're passionate about something, I think, as much as you tried to tell yourself, look, I'm not going to focus on this, you're not going to do it and go, oh, I'm not bothered at all if no one shows up. You're going to be bothered if no one does show up. I stream for 2 hours. I kind of get all my evening stuff out of the way. I put the little into bed if the other half is working, and then that's kind of like my time. So I jump on, and on a Monday night, it's literally, I haven't seen anyone since Wednesday. What's been happening? And it's a good 30, sometimes 40 minutes before I'm looking thinking, oh, we better get on with a game because I'm only going to be here for another hour and 20 minutes and we're not going to play anything otherwise. Because it's just that catching up, and it feels good now.
How are you still going?
Purely because of the community I've got. I've got a good few regulars that are always there. They're there within seconds of me pressing live. I'm still running around the room frantically making sure I've got my water ready and everything, and they're already chatting, and that's such a good feeling. That gives you such a good buzz for when you're ready to go. Streaming and Twitch has had its highs and lows. There's always some form of controversy that's going on. There is stuff that happens that you really do think, well, I really genuinely don't know how I feel about this. The one thing they are really, really good at doing is building and drawing in communities. It wasn't for that community feel, I don't think Twitch would be doing as well as it is above competitors and future competitors.
Like, what do you think, like in general, somebody needs to do to grow their Twitch channel?
Networking gets thrown around quite a lot. You have to network, and I don't deny that. That is can be quite important, but it's trying to network for the right reasons. Trying to go into networking without a sort of expectation, because I feel like if you've got that expectation, one, it becomes quite clear why you're networking. It's like, right, okay, you're not trying to build a connection here, you're wanting something from me, you just don't want to be upfront about it. And one thing that I personally really struggle with is discoverability, actually making people aware that I am here. You have to have some form of funnel to be driving people to your Twitch channel, because currently, if all you are doing is Twitch, there isn't really much of a funnel when you're starting out. Once you're flying along, then obviously you're high up the rankings. You may even find yourself on the front page, in which case that funnel is there and it's working actively for you. But until you're fairly high up the rankings on games that are relevant and are trending, so to speak, then you haven't got that discoverability unless you're funneling people in from Twitter, Instagram, other socials, or even YouTube.
So what would you think you are doing wrong at the moment, or what can you improve on your stream?
The most obvious stuff that I keep telling myself, my networking and my discoverability. I never wanted my Twitter to become another one of these profiles that was just purely retweets and going live tweets. I'm not the type of person personally to sit there tweeting about my day, about, this has happened or that has happened, unless I think it's particularly interesting. Otherwise, literally the only time I was tweeting was, I'm going live later today, I'm going live now. Your Twitter has got to be more than that. Otherwise, people are just going to switch off from it, because literally all you're doing is posting when you're going live.
What you can do, because you said you were retweeting things, you can also retweet with a comment, and if you write something about this, it becomes kind of your own tweet. This way you don't have to think about like a lot of content, but you can still share things and make tweets and give them value. So that's like a little hack where you can get more content on Twitter without having to put a lot of effort in. And tell people why they should follow you, what you do in Twitch.
You can find me as Kevlad Plays just about everywhere. I mainly play survival and simulation games. I love indie games, and I love a good story. So if a game's got a really good engaging story, quite often you find me playing that. I like to talk. So when I get talking, it's hard for me to stop. And I just like to think that what we have is a great community of like-minded people, a very friendly, inclusive and welcoming community.
Guys, go follow Kevlad everywhere. If you have any questions for him, go to his Twitch, type them in his Twitch chat, talk to him because he loves to talk. And what I want to know from you guys is, what is the thing you struggle most with as a content creator? Leave it down in the comments below. And I'll send you off this video where I talk about how to talk on Twitch. See you there.